Fed Ben Bernanke worried about high unemployment. It'll barely fall over the next year, according to his news conference today. But President Obama has been siding with the Occupy Wall Street crowd, dividing the country between the 1% and the 99%. Is this really the way to increase jobs and growth? Let us go to our two distinguished guests, two distinguished senators. Senator Bernard Sanders, independent from Vermont, and Senator Tom Coburn, Republican from Oklahoma. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Senator Sanders, it's been a while. Thank you for coming back on the air.
My pleasure.
I guess, Senator, my worry is dividing up between the 1% and the 99%, does that really lead to jobs? Will that lower the unemployment rate?
I think it does, Larry, because I think it's long overdue for us to begin focusing on the greed, illegal behavior, and recklessness of Wall Street, which has caused this terrible recession, resulting in the loss of many, many millions of jobs. We got to change the way Wall Street is functioning, and I think that the occupying people who are focusing attention on this issue are doing the right thing. And the second issue that they're talking about is the growing gap between the very, very rich and everybody else. There's no debate. The middle class is collapsing. Poverty is increasing. The wealthiest people in this country are doing phenomenally well. I don't think you will ever have a strong economy when we continue to have the most unequal distribution of wealth and income of any major country on earth.
All right, Senator Coburn, what about the opposing side, though, which is opportunity, incentive, growing the pie for everybody? How do we get out of this unemployment mess, which Bernanke says is going to stay a problem for the foreseeable future?
Well, I think the first thing you do is leadership. You got to give Americans hope. Dividing our country right now hurts us, doesn't help us. What we have to do is talk to the American people as adults. There's no question there's problems in terms of income distribution, but the government's actually been the result of it, caused that. And the fact is if we're going to penalize those that through their own blood, sweat, and equity have made success in America, and we're going to take and transfer that to somebody else by saying, oh, no, you can't be too successful in our country, you're going to destroy the very fabric of our country. And division, if you want to divide our country further, we'll continue to do this. And that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be reforming the tax code. Bernie knows that I agree we ought to get rid of a lot of the loopholes. We ought to change how we do a lot of those things. But you can't penalize. You know, you think about the number of middle-income workers that work for Wall Street firms, and we're going to have a hearing tomorrow on the CFTC limits that they've set on commodities, and we're going to drive all the commodity trading out of this country with a new rule by the CFTC. So if we want to transfer jobs and income out of this country, we should continue doing what we're doing right now under this administration.
You know, Senator Sanders, there's a poll out today, and it's not the only one of its ilk, that basically says middle-class people believe that if you increase taxes on the so-called rich, actually they're going to see their taxes rising. That's what happened with the alternative minimum tax. Wouldn't tax reform be better than tax penalties on risk?
Larry, I'm not familiar with that poll, but I am familiar with many, many other polls, of which every single one said that the American people think that the wealthiest people in this country should be asked to pay more in taxes because they are more than cognizant of the fact that the effective, i.e. real tax rate for the wealthy has gone down to its lowest point in decades while the rich are getting richer. So I think that when we are seeing this growing disparity, and we're seeing a serious deficit problem, it is incredible to me that in the last year, where we have chopped trillions of dollars in benefits of children, the elderly, the sick, and the poor, the rich have not been asked to pay 1 penny more in taxes, nor have we ended one corporate tax loophole.
But Senator Sanders, just as a rejoinder, look, the rich so-called pay 40%. The top 10% of taxpayers in this country pay about 75, 80%. The bottom half of taxpayers don't hardly pay any taxes at all. That's why I don't understand these distribution tables.
Well, Larry,
what the IRS says.
Larry, you sound like a conservative Republican.
I'm a supply sider. I'm
a okay. I didn't know that.
Supply sider. But by the way, sir, with all respect, I read the IRS tables.
Okay, let me also tell you, when you talk about who pays what in taxes, first of all, you got to understand who makes what. The top 1% earn more income than the bottom 50%. And you also have to appreciate the insanity of the top 400 wealthiest people in this country owning more wealth than the bottom 150 million Americans.
Senator Coburn, I want to give you the last word on this as we're running out of time. We appreciate you both very much. I want you to please react to that.
Let me say something. We haven't cut spending anywhere for those groups that Senator Sanders mentioned. All the spending has gone up from the federal government. So there's been no net cuts. Even in terms of real dollars, there's been increases. So you can't claim that we've not done what is necessary. Could we do more? Yes. Can we finance that? No. We don't even have the capability to finance our deficit this year. So the question is we can change our country. We can become a pure socialist country, and we can decide that we're going to transfer wealth from those that have it and made it, and we're going to kill any incentive. You think people are sitting on the sideline now. You wait till we carry out the program of taking from those that have been productive and transferring to those that are non-productive and take away that incentive, and we will kill our country.
Well, isn't that what President Obama is saying, Senator Coburn?
I don't like what he's saying right now because it's not about solving our problems and bringing us together. There's no question the wealthy in this country should pay more. We should have a clearer tax code where they don't have special loopholes that they can get through. There's no reason that we should allow a mortgage deduction for a second home. All those things I agree with. But to characterize that as saying if you worked hard, you got an education, you came up, you did it yourself, and you produced a business and you made money, and all of a sudden there's something wrong because you did that. Nobody hires people who don't have any money to begin with.
All right.
So there's a big difference in philosophy between Senator Sanders and myself. He's a wonderful guy. We just see it differently.
Well, that's for true. That's absolutely true.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. I appreciate you. I disagree with Senator Sanders, but he is a wonderful guy. Tom Coburn, I agree with you. You're a wonderful guy. You're both great to come on the show, Senator Sanders and Coburn. Now, let's go right to the House for reaction to this debate. We have two distinguished House members, Charlie Rangel, Democrat from New York, and Jim Jordan, Republican from Ohio.